Hey guys, how are you? This is the first video, the first stream of Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. I will be starting the new game, because I haven't played it earlier, and I hope you enjoy. Let's get right to it. That's Russian, okay. Memory of the Ukrainian... Oh, okay, it's Ukrainian. Heavenly Hunters. I don't know Wiggles and BSI. Let's find out who they are. The Fate of Black Peter, okay. Okay. Let's see how this game works. What is she shooting at?
Holmes! Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad.
Okay.
Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
Oh, I love this. Ninth? Oh, okay. Ah, it's Peter Lestrade. Oh.
Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone, then.
Okay. Turn the current, check your current progress and investigate task evidence, etc. Alright, in a sec. I need to adjust the audio. It's way too low. Okay. Investigate the murder. Okay. Investigate the murder of Peter Carey. Inspect the crime scene at Woodman's Lee. Select a suit to wear using your personal wardrobe and join the Strat at Woodman's Lee. Okay. So we should start with the suit at first. Ooh. Task fairly involved the former captain known as Black Peter. Okay, what else we have? There's Baker Street, there's Woodman's Lee, that's where I have to go. Alright. What else? Evidence. Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, born in 1845 and still 50 years old. He achieved great success hunting in Scandinavia, retired in 1884, eventually moving to Woodman's Lee. Okay. No documents yet, dialogues, take a look at those, souvenirs, echoes, whatever those are. Character portraits. Okay. So let's start again. We should select suit to wear. Alright. Let's open this button. Ooh, it's a little bit sensitive.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
It's talking to me. Alright. Wardrobe. Over there. Ooh. Oh, the sensitivity is way too high. Let's try this again. It's much better. Yeah, it is better. Okay, Miss Hudson.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hudson. It had to be done. Wait. Open door, no. Let's see, can we talk to Watson?
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Okay, so where can I change? Oh, there's a map.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
Uh-huh. Okay. Wait. Nah. Is this the way out? Okay. Door to Watson's room. Oh, let's take a look in here. What do we have? Is there something we can take a look at? Oh, a very old typewriter. No. Nothing to do here.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
Uh-huh.
This is where I keep my post.
Interesting. A lot of newspapers.
My archive. I can always
Okay.
consult with it if needed. My
It's the
archive.
same.
I
Okay.
can always consult with it if...
Sherlock Holmes room. Nice. Can we... No. Makeup table. Okay. Wardrobe. Let's start with this. What do we have? Morning gown. Okay. Sailor outfit. Button suit. Casual suit. Black suit. Brown suit. I like the brown one. Right. Bandit outfit. Armor. Okay, let's take the brown one. And let's go to makeup table. Let's see what we can do here. Oh. Oh. This is cool. Oh, I love the hat. Oh, this one is locked. Okay. Let's do that. Oh, this is too much. What was the first one? Yeah, let's leave it like that. Glasses, always nice. Ah. Are they locked as well? Yeah. Facial hair. I think this will come later when they have to change disguises or something. So we'll just leave it like that. Okay. Alright. Do we have something else here we can do? Or we can examine? No. Right. Okay, then we have to go to Woodman's Lee and inspect the crime scene. Alright, let's do this. This is cool. During the loading screen you can look at the casebook. It's actually really good.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Okay. Wait, you know what? Let's start back here. Can I run? Ah, I can run. Okay.
Mr. Holmes?
Okay, you're not talking to me? Okay.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Mm-hmm. Ah. Okay. Footsteps. Interesting. Talk to him. Do we have here?
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
That's right. Okay, and that's why it's green. The symbol it means that done that already. Up to you.
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
Okay, he's not saying anything else. This is cool. Let's get upstairs. Let's get to the restaurant. Where is he? He's over there, okay. I'll also just saying
Mr. Holmes?
Yeah, he's saying the same stuff. Okay, that's very simplistic in a way.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Stick with this one.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Okay.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock. I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning I heard a terrible scream, but I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Okay.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
That's a lifestyle.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. We lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
Okay. Okay. This is cool. I love this game already. How far down can we go? Is there something else we should Take a look at. Ooh, Catholic rosary. Okay. Gardening gloves. Something else is missing. Missed something. Let's take a look at the table once more. I think it will be something here. No, I don't want to skip this. This one. Ah.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Yeah, how do you know about that?
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth.
Okay.
I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
I have no idea how I did that.
Thank you, madam.
Alright. There's something new. What do we have here? Evidence. Well-cut garden. Both of victim. Should I talk to you
Who
again?
could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Okay, let's see what we can find. Ooh, cross that. What did you turn? There's nothing here. Can I get up there? No, I can't. Right, wait a sec. My neighbor's dogs are barking again. Alright. Let's continue. Get in there. I'm actually not sure what to do now. Where to go? I need to go to the cabin. Okay, let's go there. So that's in the way now.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Ah. Now let's get started.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Okay.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Ah, wait. I saw footsteps down here. Stone pathway. Can I land around stone pathway? Footprints. Examine. I thought so. There's something else.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Okay. Large footprints, so it means it was a tall person. Let's take a look at the door. Examine. Scratches, okay.
These scratches are fresh.
Someone tried with a lockpick to get inside.
You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Now, a mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Do you mean I should take a look for the tool? Let's try this. Not an idea. Nope. Okay. So we used the wrong tool. Thought maybe I could find that tool somewhere around here. It doesn't look like this. What? Evidence required? Okay. Well, let's get inside the house, the cabin. Alright, now, let's look at here. It's locked. Don't tell me the body is gone. Oh! Alright.
What a terrible way to die.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And no prints?
The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Okay. Something's missing. Yeah. What in the dust? Yeah.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
Okay. Try something.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
Okay. Just need to find out what all the buttons are doing. Didn't take a look earlier. Wooden chest. Okay. What do we have here?
Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
Is there something? What else?
Old navigation instruments. Nothing interesting.
But the boots, I know where they are belonging to. Let's take a look. Oh, okay.
These boots don't match the footprints.
Alright. Good to know. So it's larger than an 8. Done that. Let's go to the table.
Someone drank from this glass recently.
Alright. PC. Ah. Okay.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Okay. Rotate move the elements to form a clear picture of aromatic associations. Ah, there's a pipe. Okay. There's a boat and a pipe. Isn't it right yet? How do I know if it's correct? Because I was already close, I think. Ah, move. Ah, okay. That's not quite right. Okay. The kite needs to go here. This is difficult. Something else missing? Isn't it done yet? Ah. Where's my mistake? No. Yeah, I see this picture now. I have no idea. What's next? No, I don't want to skip this. I wanna finish it, but I can't, in a way. Ah, the boat is not correct. I do it like this, is it? Or is it? Hmm. I think it's like this. There it is.
Yes.
Ah.
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Okay. Something else? Take a look at. No, I don't think so.
The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
Okay. So we had those glasses.
Rum. A sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
And with another person. A second person who he knew. Otherwise there wouldn't be another glass. Sea unicorn. No. I want to do this last. I want to take a look at the sea unicorn. What the?
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Oh, you know that. Just because it's at this wall? Okay, let's take a look at him.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
It's like an harpoon, maybe. Yeah, it's an harpoon.
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
Nothing to see here.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong.
Okay.
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
Yeah, thought so. Can't do anything with those pictures. Let's go down to the pool of blood. Okay, first of all, there's a symbol.
This wooden handle is plain and solid.
Okay.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body.
Yeah.
Peter
this-
Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
So there would be blood of the attacker on the knife.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
To see here. Wait. Nope. It's out of blood. Can I open it in some way?
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Okay.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Maybe those are persons and maybe, I don't know, numbers in a way? So we have the PC. Peter Carey, this is his pouch, this is definitely. Okay, one box is stolen. Maybe he owed someone money? JHN, okay. It's a person with a bigger footprint than an 8. Maybe the gardener. Oh, there was no gardener. Is there something else I missed? Oh.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Yeah. That's of interest. Is there something else? Something is amiss. Oh, no.
Dundee. Hammerfest. It's a whaling map.
Okay. What is the triangle? What the? Find a pair of related clues and they perform a deduction. Red color what? Was too fast. Okay. No gardener. Break in the tents. What the hell? An ambush must be made tonight to see if the break-in attempt will be repeated. Okay.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Right. Okay. Let's talk to Lestrade.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
No.
Mr. Holmes?
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Okay.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Yeah, that's the one that's missing.
Thank you, madam.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Right. So, ooh, there was something up here. Saw something. Oh, not. Okay. So, are we doing this or what? And now?
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind
okay.
Carey's cabin, near the window.
This one. Here. No?
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Okay. Now let's see. Okay, didn't know that. Do you really have to stand that close to the window?
Shh! Did you hear that?
Shh. It's just a boy. Yeah.
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there! All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
That's why I
Innocent?
hide a body.
And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough! You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector, but please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Okay. Scotland Yard. Place. Cars. Some elegance belongs. Evidence room. Okay. Let's see if we find the evidence room.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
Where is the evidence room? I would like to know that beforehand, before I talk to the guy.
Mr. Holmes?
Is the policeman? Is this the evidence room? Looks like it. Maybe. Okay, ah, yeah, there it is.
These are the suspect's belongings.
Okay, let's start with the ring. Got what? From R. Dawson to my friend and partner, 1883.
And partner, 1883.
Start from the beginning.
From R. Dawson. To my friend, Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Okay.
A handkerchief with the initials J.H.N.
Weren't handkerchiefs really expensive at the time? Especially those with their own initials on it?
A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Yeah.
The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor.
Evidence required? Okay, I need more evidence for those numbers. Wait, forgot something? Let's take a look with
These
R1.
are the suspect's belongings.
Is there something else we need? No. Okay. Let's get up, let's talk to the guy. Let's find out what those numbers mean. Yep. More doors. Okay. What's that one? Oh no.
Locked.
Locked. Okay. See here? No. It's the interrogation room. Okay. Let's go downstairs. I don't know. Let's go here. Oh, that's the morgue. Okay. Oh, not the morgue. What's it called? Coroner's office, in a way. I think I don't need to be here yet. No. Okay, let's go to the guy. Talk to him. Oh, it's locked. Right. There he is. Let's talk.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Never mind.
What? Let's try this
The
again.
police...
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
What answer? Where?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Never mind.
What? I don't get it.
The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan.
Okay. Let's look at this guy. Chevy cab. A hatch, okay. He fixed his own jacket. Expensive fabric. Alright. Favorite buttons. So maybe someone else gave it to him. Short sleeve, so it's not his jacket actually. Took it from someone. Callus, alright. Scars. One thing is missing. Oh, markings on his neck. Still don't get what's with the ring.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Which answer? I don't see an answer.
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Never mind.
I think I have to... I have an idea.
Well,
Because
I will see you soon, young man.
the ring and this and Dawson, that means something. Let me see. Tin box, no guard, no breaking attempts. Okay, what do we have now? It's been made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying in a pool of victims' blood. There's proof the guilt of the person who made these attempts. Yeah. What else do we have? We need to find out whether an unskilled and untrained man could use a harpoon well enough to kill by fully piercing a body. Alright.
Please let me go. I'm innocent.
Yeah, the task I have. I'm going to look at the other clues. If there's something. Nope. Deselect. Alright. Alright, I think that's all. Okay, and we need to get back to the house to look at his archives concerning Dawson. What that means. I think that's why I can't give the correct answer. He won't tell me the names, the numbers, what it means. Can't go there. Okay, let's get to Baker Street first. See if I can find out what Dawson is all about. Let's take a look here. Search for Dawson. Okay, very good ring with description. Vaporizing technique, toxic metal and hair, textile fibers. Hemlock seeds, poison toxins, nah, wounds and injuries. Forensic techniques, martial arts. What? Okay. That's how we... Railway opens bankrupt Bankruptcy Act 1883.
That is not the one I need.
Not? It's the same here. Dawson and Nelligan. Nelligan Investment Fund bankrupt. Nelligan missing. The Dawson Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional bank institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. The liquidation of the company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht preparing for departure to Norway. Nelligan is wanted both by the police and his creditors.
Here it is.
Alright.
Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
Yeah. Great. So we have this one. John Nelligan, wait. Wasn't this man's name also? Hey, Joshua Nelligan. His father, I think. Okay. That's... Oh, this dog! Toby!
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Sweet. Okay, let's talk to Watson.
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible, but if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
Alright, we have to go to the butcher. We have to go back to Scotland Yard and to the other one. Let's do this. Let's go back to Scotland Yard first. Talk to him. Ah, and we got something else. Please. Nope. Nope. 4, 5. No. Okay. Let's get back to the guy. Oops, wrong button. Let's talk about the ring again, my friend.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes. Joshua Nelligan was my father.
Thought so.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. The police seized this value.
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner. So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Mm-hmm. Examine the ship's logs. Okay. I always have the wrong... Okay, or maybe can I just go to Woodman's Lee from here? Yeah, nice. Don't have to walk through the door. We have something new here? Nope. Okay, we have to take a look at the books. And we need the harpoon as well.
"1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Okay, Peter Carey. That's most clear. Miss Lawrence, Fowler, Talbot, Granger, Tinsley, White Page, Weeks.
This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. Log notes for June. Nothing unusual.
Okay.
Log notes for July. Nothing special.
And
Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. This is the crew list of the Sea. Log notes. Log. This is the.
okay, I think that's it. What? Is there something else missing?
This is log note.
Yeah.
Log notes for July. Log notes for August. These pages.
Canadian Pacific Railway.
Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, a torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
Okay.
That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Wiggins? Who the hell is Wiggins? Well, let's do the harpoon test first. Let's go to the butcher.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
The question is, are you throwing the harpoon or
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
You don't say. Hold breath. Ah.
Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
Ah, okay, now I get it. What the? Yeah, let's try it again. It's not easy. What the hell? It's always too low. It's getting higher. This one was good.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
Okay. Harpoon experiment completed. Nice. What's next? Wiggins. I should be at Baker Street. Okay. Do I take something back? No. Let's go to Baker Street. Strength requirement, pin to wall, definitely. Perfect, maybe you can always change the picture of a crime by choosing between mutually exclusive deductions. What? Okay. There's remote possibility that this opponent requires a much greater strength. The degree of skill would most likely be necessary. Two men in cooperation might achieve the same result. Okay. Two men. So it seems like maybe it's two of the...
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they are still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
Okay.
Watson, I need Wiggins. Is he anywhere nearby?
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Okay.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Fascinating.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Alright. Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard. Let's do this.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always, what happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes. He refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room.